If you're in Rome on a Sunday, I'm going to share with you what I think is the perfect Sunday itinerary. We're going to first head out to the Porta Portese Market. It's Rome's largest flea market. Then we're going to head over to the Jewish Ghetto, where we're going to spend lunch and explore the Jewish Ghetto. Then out to Circus Maximus, and from there we're going to be heading to the Via Appia Antica and the Roman Aqueducts. It's a day you will never forget. I promise. Stick with me, because here we go. So you might be wondering, why does this itinerary need to be done on a Sunday? Well, first off, 3 of the places we're going to be going to are best done on Sunday or can only be done on Sunday. And that includes the first place. Our first stop is going to be to the flea market called Porta Portese. It is a flea market that runs every Sunday, but only Sundays, from early in the morning till around 2 in the afternoon. So we're going to make our way to the Porta Portese Market. Just a quick overview. Here's the Colosseum. Down over here is Circus Maximus. Across the river, this is Porta Portese. And the market, depending on which way you come from, there's a main road that comes through Trastevere this way, or across the river from Testaccio is the market. The market basically runs all these streets here, this whole road here, and then it winds back down on this direction this way. There are over 700 booths, 700 vendors, sell everything you can think of, from clothes to vintage records to kitchenware to boots, shoes, you name it, you can find it at the Porta Portese Market. The idea is to come down into this market area. It opens up very early in the morning. You get there, even at 6 in the morning, you can get down there. But if you get there by 9 o'clock at the very latest, that'll give you at least a couple of hours to kind of tour the market, kind of get a feel for what it's all about. Go find your, your souvenirs or anything that you're looking for, Italian goods. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make our way out to this main road right here. So depending on which way you're coming into, there's a main road that cuts through Trastevere. Right out here, there is a bus stop. It's actually a tram stop right here. And we're going to hop on there and we're going to head on it's the only tram in the area. It's the one on, on like tracks. It's the only one that's there. So, it's number 8, but the number really doesn't matter because there's not more than one coming on those tracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, let me zoom out here a minute, and we're going to take it right back into the area that most people come from. We're going to come back across the Tiber River, and right when you come across this river, there's the first stop here, and then there's one more right across the street from this dog park. That's where we're going to get off the tram, right here. So here is the park where we're exiting the tram, and directly across is the entrance to the Jewish Ghetto. It's this little area here, and as you come down in here, it's a pedestrian-only area, so you don't have to contend with cars as you walk down here, and you're going to come up into the Jewish Ghetto, which is right in here. In the description, I'm going to put a link to this map here. This is a GPS guidance. It's using an app called Kamoot. It's an app I use oftentimes in Rome because it's an app that you typically have to pay for, but in Rome it's free to use. So I'll put a link to this so it will guide you step by step where to go to get to the Circus Maximus, and we're going to pass several interesting sites along the way. And the nice thing about the app is it'll also give you a little bit of information about each of the sites that we're going to see. What's nice about this area is there's lots of restaurants. It's a great place to grab lunch. You can grab a sit-down lunch. You can grab a quick bite like at a pizzeria. There's lots of places to choose from. Right here, one thing I want to note, there's a bakery. It's right, let's see, might be right back here. Here we go. There's a bakery right here. It does not have a name on the door. It's the Jewish Bakery. And it's been selling pastries for 300 years. And if you watch some of my other videos, you've probably seen me talk about this thing called Jewish pizza. Here's the Jewish pizza. It doesn't look like pizza, maybe. Look on the bottom. It even looks like it's burnt, but it's actually just perfect. I've had these before. That's kind of how they always are. And the inside, so good when you bite into them. So I highly recommend you stop by and grab some. It's not traditional Italian pizza. They call it pizza. It's more of a pastry, but it's It's not a super sweet pastry, but it is super good. Swing in there. The line might be a little bit long. That's how you'll kind of notice that it's the right bakery, because on a Sunday, you're probably gonna have to spend, 10, 20, maybe even 30 minutes in line to grab a pastry there. Very popular, but it's worth waiting in line for sure. At least in my opinion, it is. In 1943, 1944, during the war, the Gestapo came in here, rounded up all the Jews, and they took 1,100 plus of them to Auschwitz concentration camp. And of the 1,100, less than 20 of them ever returned. Today, in front of the doors where the Jews were taken, there are placards kind of memorializing the victims, those that lost their lives at Auschwitz. And it's kind of interesting. So when you come to Rome, make sure you don't miss the Jewish Ghetto. It's got a lot of history here. And today it's a very vibrant community with lots of restaurants, great food, great people, just a fun atmosphere to hang out in. As you make your way down here, you're gonna make your way down this Jewish Ghetto, down and through all of the commerce area. The GPS is gonna take you down this little road here, which I talked about. It's got the doors where the golden cobblestones are at, and then it's gonna take you to this really famous fountain that's right here. It's right there. And then back over here, and as we come out of the Jewish Ghetto, you're gonna go through some of Rome's most interesting ruins right down through here. And this is Theater Marcella right here. The GPS will take you down this direction, right over towards some very important temples and fountains. There's a couple temples here. There's a very important fountain right here. And then there's the church right here. And right in the entryway is the Bocca di Verità, La Bocca della Verità. And it's the mouth of the truth. It's where you used to stick your hand in the day. And if you were lying, they would chop your hand off. Today, you can still stick your hand in. And luckily, they don't still chop your hand off, even if you are lying. And then you're gonna make your way right over to this bike shop, which is located right, let's zoom in here, it'll pop up the name, I think. Maybe not, but anyway, it's located right in this area right here. There's a bike shop called Easy Bike Rental Roma. So we're gonna come right here to the Easy Bike Rental Roma and grab some e-bikes and continue on to Via Appia Antica and the Roman Aqueducts. Okay, keep in mind that you want to arrive at Circus Maximus by around 2 p.m. That'll give us plenty of time for the bike ride out to the Via Appia Antica and to the Roman Aqueducts. Now, I know you're probably thinking, am I going to get lost? And if you didn't have GPS, it would be confusing and kind of difficult to do. But luckily there is GPS, and they're going to be using an app called Kamoot. This is the same app that I'm using in this video for the walking section. There's going to be a link to that same route that will take you from here out to the Via Appia Antica to the Aqueduct Park and then back to Circus Maximus. If you don't have it, the bike shop will also be happy to text you or email you a link to that same itinerary. It's pretty easy to do. Once you have it on your phone, on the bikes themselves, they have little mounts on the handlebars where you can stick your phone, and it will guide you as you ride your bike, turn by turn, very easy to follow. Most of this bike route is going to be on bike trails. You're not going to be competing with cars on the roads, at least 99% of it. There's a few sections that you do need to, but for the most part, it's just going to be on bike trails. This here is the old Aurelian Wall that used to surround Rome. You're going to come under that, cross under the, or over the train tracks, and then right up here, there's actually a turnoff here that's going to take you on this little dirt trail, and you're going to cut through here. And one thing I wanted to point out, I mean, the GPS is doing all this for you, so you don't need to memorize this or anything. But right here, there's a spot here. This is the Via Appia Antica right here. And the reason we want to visit this, or one of the better days to visit this, is Sundays, is because there's very limited traffic. They kind of cut off most of the traffic on this road here. But what we want to do is, if we can, we want to go right through this little gate here and into this pathway here. It's a super pretty bike ride. If it's closed, which sometimes it is, you may be forced to go here on Via Appia Antica. But ideally, you want to come right through here, And then you can come on up here, and it's very, very pretty. And then right here is the San Calistro catacombs. And if you'd like to see the catacombs, now's a great time to lock the bikes up and go check those out. And then you continue on. And again, here on this side is Via Appia Antica. But if you're in this path, you can just continue on until they kind of come down and meet right here. They'll meet up, and then you just drive your bike straight out here. And what's really neat, the further out you get, the more interesting it becomes, the more ruins there are. The road gets kind of bumpy and rough, but there's plenty of areas, there are bike paths and stuff that you can ride on that are pretty smooth. So that's what you want to do. And as far as traffic out here, I mean, you really don't have to contend with traffic. There might be one car every hour or so that comes through this area. Not very many at all, especially once you get out here a ways. You're going to explore Via Appia Antica, drive, come on out here a ways, and then the GPS is going to have you turn, let's see where about. I think it's right up here. Now you can continue up here a while, but the GPS is right here. There's a turn. It's a dirt path. It's going to have you cut down this road here. Let me show you another angle a little up closer. You're going to come down this. It's really pretty. It's just like, park area, kind of like there's lots of like goats and stuff out in this area. There's a small tennis club here. If you need to use the restroom, this is a good place to stop. You can even get sodas, or they even have a little bar there. You can grab something to drink or eat there if you want to inside the tennis club. And you don't have to be a member or anything to go in there. So you can use their restrooms if you need to. But anyways, from here, you're going to need to follow the GPS. It'll essentially take you out to this park here, which is this here. As you look out here, let's see. Here's the aqueducts. So it's going to wrap you around and come in over here. And you're going to be on this. Here's another tennis club. But you're going to come right out here. And once you get here, these are the aqueducts. And let me turn this for you real quick here. So what's really neat is you can take your bike and ride right along the aqueducts. Super pretty. You can ride down maybe a mile or so along these aqueducts and turn around and come back the other side. For me, it's the prettiest bike ride that I've ever been on, not one of the most. When you're coming back, the GPS will take you past here. I want to show you one more thing that's kind of good to know is, now this looks like a ways off here, but right here there's a little restaurant, and your GPS will take you right past this just before you're exiting the Aqueduct Park. There's this building here. It's a little two-story like a villa looking thing, and it's a restaurant out here, the outdoor dining. You can come in there and just get some soda or water or an ice cream, or you can actually have a full meal out there if you'd like. But super great atmosphere to come out here and stop here if you've got the time. From there, it's going to wind through some really interesting roads and alleyways and through the park and stuff all the way back to Circus Maximus. Majority of it will be a different way than you came originally. It's super interesting, and this bike ride is super, super fun, super memorable. It's about 17 miles in all, and that may seem like a long ways, but just remember that you're going to be on an e-bike. It's going to do most of the work for you. You've got 5 hours to do that in. And so it's not like there's a big workout or anything like that that's going to, tire you out. It's going to be more enjoyable than you probably can imagine, and you're going to see things that are just incredible. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you ever get the chance to take this bike ride, you'll let me know what you think. If you enjoy videos about Rome, please consider subscribing. If you found this video helpful to you, give me a couple thumbs up. Thanks. To the next one. Alla prossima. Ciao.